Alright, a good evening everyone. This is Senior Broadcaster Cameron back here again, and I'm going on here to go over the upcoming two fronts that's going to be impacting our area as we get towards Sunday and even towards late next week here. And I pointed out yesterday with the graph that I posted on the page that the third front as we get towards Thursday and Friday of next week could bring some of the coldest air, and I hate using cold in October, but some of the coldest air we've seen in a while here in the natural state here, guys. And I remember there was this one of our viewers were talking about, a couple of years back how we went from record-breaking heat to record-breaking cold. And I want to get this out there that, I've been here, for some of the watchers, we've been here for 5 years. And I was just talking to Derek about it, and I told Derek, I said, hey, I don't think it's going to get, winter time. I'm not expecting any snow anytime soon or anything like that. But I have seen years in the past, me and him both have seen years in the past that we have gone from record-breaking heat, 80s and 90s, to potential record lows in some places. So it can and will happen. I mean, in any given scenario, it can happen here in the natural state. You always know, if you don't like the weather, just wait a moment and it'll change on you. But here we are, the next 6 to 10 days here, and even for the next 8 to 14 days here, I'm thinking that we will be below normal in the temperature department here, guys. So this is the latest from the Climate Prediction Center, below normal for most of the central, western, and even the southern tier of the country, where your warmer above normal temperatures will be across Alaska, the far southwestern half of the country, and also the eastern half, where your ridging is going to start building up here. So your weak southeast ridge, I'm going to go ahead and draw this out for you guys here. So there's your southeast ridge that's going to be centered right in here. Alright, so just bear with me with my mouse just a second. So there's your ridge. There's another ridge that's going to develop out here in the Gulf of Alaska here. And when you have these two ridges, these two blocking patterns ongoing, it's going to lead to a dip in the jet stream that's going to take over most of the western and portions of the central half of the country. And we are just lucky enough that the southeast ridge broke down what it did, because if it didn't break down, most of this cooler air, will be balled up across the north. And that was the original forecast. That's what we were looking at about a week or so ago, that the coldest of the air was going to stay across the northern half of the country. That's the reason why you were seeing above normal temperatures here in the natural state, but guidance has been basically like a brick wall, suggesting that below normal temperatures will be seen across most of the western, northern, and portions of the southern half of the country here, guys, in exception to the eastern half, and also to exceptions over there in Alaska here, guys. So, as I said before, that is the 6 to 10 day outlook, and even at the 8 to 14 day outlook, little to no change for us here in Arkansas, with below normal temperatures still to play. So, guys, get used to the below normal temperatures here for the next 14 days here. That's 2 weeks from now. So we've got 2 weeks of below normal temperatures here now. Precipitation wise, for the next 6 to 10 days here, this does not surprise me that you have slight to well above normal precipitation, especially across the heartland of the country, portions of northern Arkansas here. I foresee this, given that one, like I said before, the third front that's going to come through Thursday and Friday is likely to produce what we call a squall line. And I will be talking about the potential of severe weather later in this blog here, just a little bit here. But as I said before, I do foresee above normal precipitation here for at least a 6 to 10 day outlook. But the moment you get past 10 days, you go from above normal precipitation to below normal precipitation. And although we do need the cooler air here in Arkansas, I'm one of the fans of winter here, guys, we also need the rainfall. We have several burn bans. Your wildfire danger is still up there, guys. So just please keep that in mind. We do still need the rainfall here in the natural state, particularly in central and southern Arkansas. Southern Arkansas definitely needs the rain. For our folks in northern Arkansas, you are okay for right now, but if we were to go on a extended dry period, it could extend into northern Arkansas here. But as for our folks in central and southern Arkansas, they desperately need the rain here, guys. So for the next 6 to 10 days, precipitation chances do look to be above normal across our neck of the woods here, guys. So, as I said before, I'm going to be talking about the potential of severe weather here, guys. Now, there is some uncertainties with the potential of severe weather as we get towards particularly Sunday. The only reason I'm not suggesting the potential of a big time squall line that's going to come through Sunday and into Monday is because of the fact that this front, although it is strong, is going to be moving in relatively fast. So the one thing that's concerning me in terms of severe weather potential is that the front could undercut these storms. And if that were to happen, that reduces your chances of these storms updrafting and also reduces your chances of severe weather overall. Although I do foresee a wind event out of this, and just keep an eye on our page here, guys, because we may be putting out a wind graphic over the weekend. So just please keep that in mind with the change here, because I'm going to show you temperatures real fast here. So the second front is going to pack a punch more than the front that came through last night and the early part of today here, guys. So there's your front boundary. Here we are on Sunday here. I'm going to step back to right around the noon hour, and you've got temperatures near 90 degrees. This is GFS, by the way. You've got temperatures near 90 degrees across central and southern Arkansas, and temperatures behind the front in the 50s and 60s here. So the front boundary comes through Sunday night, and into Monday morning. Also, one more thing that reduces the severe weather potential overall, the timing of the front. The way the GFS is wanting to bring it through, late Sunday evening, late Sunday night, that were to come through, you lose your daytime heating and your severe weather risk goes down tremendously here, which is good news. We do need to change, but we don't need severe weather along with it here, guys. So as we get towards Monday, you can't start the week off better than these temperatures here, guys. Temperatures right around the noon hour in the upper 60s, low 70s, guys, and overnight lows in the 40s and 50s. And for our folks in northern Arkansas, particularly in the higher elevations, I cannot rule out a 40 degree reading after this second frontal boundary that comes through on Sunday, given that it's going to have a lot of colder air behind it. I don't think there will be a frost up there in northern Arkansas as of yet, particularly with the second front, but the third front's got my eyebrow raised a little bit here. But as we get towards Tuesday, look for overnight lows to be in the upper 40s, so 50s. And daytime highs on Tuesday, you can't get any better than this, guys. Compared to what we've been seeing for the last month or two, where we've had temperatures in the 80s and 90s, overnight lows in the upper 60s, low 70s, daytime highs in the 60s and 70s, you can't beat that with anything here, guys. But I do foresee temperatures start to warm up as you get towards the middle and later part of your week here, and take a look towards your northwest. There's your third frontal boundary, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am seeing considerable agreement with this frontal boundary that this frontal boundary will be the strongest one out of all three. This one right here, if it were to verify, will be the strongest one. This is the frontal boundary right here that is raising my eyebrow here because of the fact that we could have the potential not only a possible frost across northern Arkansas here, but also the potential of severe weather given the big clash of air masses between out ahead of the front and behind the front here, guys. So take this model guidance with a grain of salt, okay? I want to go ahead and stress that right now, especially with the temperatures I'm fixing to show you here, because although I am seeing considerable agreement between the GFS and the Euro, which you don't see every day. 9 times out of 10, it's either GFS saying one thing, Euro saying one thing, but I've got GFS, Canadian, and the European model, all three agreeing on this third front as being the strongest one. I am not ready to bite on sub-freezing temperatures right now. So for our folks in northern Arkansas, just keep an eye on this because the potential is there. But the one thing that's really kind of fighting against the whole potential of a frost freeze across northern Arkansas is that this air will be modifying as it heads into Arkansas here. So yes, I do foresee overnight lows in the 40s, daytime highs in the 60s. I don't foresee it being daytime highs in the 40s and 50s and overnight lows in the 20s and 30s. It's not going to get that cold right now because you don't have a snowpack across the Midwest right now, and that would normally filter that colder air in it would normally set the stage for a frost freeze. But I just think we're too early in the game right now to start thinking that. But I cannot rule out a possible frost across northern Arkansas if guidance were to verify that far ahead. But I'm not ready to bite into those temperatures here yet. So here we are, Thursday evening, 6 p.m. The frontal boundary is now moving into western Arkansas here, and you can clearly tell there's 79 in Lake Village and 60 degrees in Fayetteville. So a big clash in air masses here where you've got temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. Behind the frontal boundary, you're in the 40s and 50s. Excuse me. You're in the 40s and 50s here, guys. So as we get towards Thursday night and Friday here, and this is also kind of concerns me about the potential of severe weather because it's moving through at night. If this is moving through in the day, I will be very concerned. But as we get towards Friday morning, now this is what I'm talking about here. If we go with the GFS, and I want to throw a sign of caution for you guys for the GFS. The GFS is cold bias, which means that the GFS will put out numbers that are relatively colder than what actually happens. So the GFS is very, very cold bias right now. So I am not particularly ready to go with 30s across all of northern Arkansas. Higher elevations, possible. I just don't see it being widespread right now because you don't have a snowpack across the Midwest. So as we get towards Friday afternoon, temperatures struggle to get out of the 50s and 60s. This I buy because of the Canadian air mass is going to be in place. I do foresee widespread 60s, possibly some upper 50s across northern Arkansas. I'm just not ready to bite into that serious cold air right now here, guys. And here we are, Saturday morning. Now, this is probably what you've been seeing across social media over the last 12 to 24 hours here, guys, that, 31, 32 degrees across northern Arkansas, widespread freeze possible. I'm not ready to bite into that yet here, guys. I'm thinking a frost is possible across northern Arkansas, particularly in the higher elevations. I am not ready to bite into a freeze yet. There's no snow that's going to be there's not going to be any snow over the next 10 days also, so guys. So I'm not ready to bite into that 31, 32 degrees across northern Arkansas here. 37, 38 at best. And that's going to be across the higher elevations of northern Arkansas here. But otherwise, I do foresee widespread 40s as we get towards Friday night and then your Saturday morning here, guys. And like I said before, even if we don't get the freezing air, you can't beat upper 50s, even 60s. 60s and 70s, guys. You cannot beat that this time of the year. As I said before, we've been in the 80s and 90s over the last couple of days here. So I welcome relief here to Arkansas that you get the upper 50s, 60s, and even some 70s are possible across far southern Arkansas here, guys. But as I said before, I just don't foresee freezing temperatures as of yet. And even beyond, and I'm just going to go ahead and take you guys out past 240 hours out here. I don't like going as far out, but even beyond there, I mean, I do foresee upper 80s, possibly middle 80s as we get towards middle of the month here before another surge of colder air comes in and completely wipes out here, guys. So you're going to hear here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, I am going ahead and tell you guys that we are done with the 90s. I do not foresee 90s for the rest of this year. Maybe across southern Arkansas out ahead of a frontal boundary, but I don't see widespread 90s as we've been seeing over the last week. As we get towards this upcoming week and into the later part of the week, I do see mid to upper 80s out ahead of the frontal boundary. I just don't foresee widespread 90s here, guys. So there's the GFS. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the icon model, and I'm also going to show you guys the Euro. So this blog is going to be relatively long, but just bear with me, guys, because there's a lot of data that I'm trying to dissect and go over with you guys here, guys, because I like to support. I know you guys have been seeing social media. I know there's been a ton of maps out about, the potential of frost, freeze, late next week. This big, powerful front is going to come through. Overnight lows could be in the 30s, 20s, and 30s. I don't think it's going to be that cold right now. Maybe 30s across far northern Arkansas, but I just don't see it being a widespread frost and freeze as of now. I would like to see further guidance explaining that potential, but the one thing that's offsetting that is that you don't have a snowpack across the Midwest here, so the air is going to naturally modify before it gets into Arkansas. So as you get towards Sunday, Sunday night, and Sunday evening, and the Sunday night here. There's your squall line, and I'm also watching out potential of possibly some wind damage along that line of thunderstorms here. But I just the severe weather partake with this frontal boundary, especially the second one. I don't like its chances at all. I mean, there's still the potential of some stronger thunderstorms, possibly some isolated severe weather. I just don't think it's going to be a major outbreak by any stretch of the matter here, guys. So as you get towards middle to late part of next week, there's your third front that's going to come through, and this is what concerns me right here. And this is what concerns me. If you go with the icon model, it's a little faster with the timing than the GFS was. So the GFS had Thursday night and early Friday morning, which would be perfect. You get the frontal boundary through, no daytime heating, weak instability. You get the potential of widespread rain, but severe weather threat goes down the drain. You go with the icon model, it's going to be a different story here, guys, because you have a literal clash of air masses here. And I'm going to draw this out. I really don't even have to draw it out. You guys can clearly see it on the temperature map here, guys. So there's your front. All right. Temperatures in the 70s, 80s, and even low 90s out ahead of the front. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s behind it. So that is about a 30 to 40 degree difference out ahead and behind the frontal boundary here. So the third front, even if it doesn't bring a freeze, it's going to mean some serious business, especially for us here in Arkansas. So as we get towards Thursday evening and the Thursday night here in the early Friday morning, here we are right around 3 in the morning. The front is dividing the state in half, where you've got 60s and 70s ahead of it, 30s and 40s behind it here, and temperatures on Friday. If you go with the icon model, I think the icon model may be a little too cool, but if this were to verify, temperatures will struggle to get out of the 50s for highs. Temperatures will struggle to get out of the 40s for highs across northern Arkansas here. The only way that happens is if you have cloud cover staying around. Because I'm going to tell you something. If cloud cover stays around on Friday, on this upcoming Friday, the 11th, then temperatures will struggle to get out of 40s and 50s because the air mass behind this front is going to be some serious business here, guys. So it may be time to try to bring out the sweaters and possibly some hoodies as you get towards late next week into the early part of your next weekend here, guys. So there's the icon model. The Canadian model, basically the same difference with your second front on Sunday as we get towards later in the week here. And this is what's got me concerned a little bit. There's overall timing differences between the guidance right now in terms of the front. All three of them have the front, but there's timing differences. GFS, Thursday night, early Friday morning. Icon model, Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening into Friday. Canadian model, nothing Thursday. On Friday, frontal boundary comes through as we get towards Friday night and into early Saturday morning here with widespread rain. This we need. We need the rainfall here in the natural state, but we do not need severe weather. Because if this were to verify, you would see the potential of severe weather across western Arkansas Friday afternoon. It would carry on into the state. Widespread rainfall, and in slow motion of this, it could lead to potential possibly some flooding, but it's still way too early to go out and say that. But as before, here we are Saturday night. We'll go to temperatures real quickly here, and temperatures really start to plummet. And this right here, I don't buy. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do something really funny here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and do this for right now. A big X on that. That I do not buy. I do not buy the widespread freeze and frost that the guidance is trying to throw out at this current time here. Maybe in the higher elevations of northern Arkansas, possibly 36, 37. I do not foresee a frost or a freeze across all of northern Arkansas here. I see a possible freeze in the higher elevations, but I just don't foresee a freeze at this current time here, guys, because I think the Canadian model is overdone with the cold air here, especially with that third shot that comes through. And here we are on Sunday here, and guys, that's just beautiful right there. Low to mid 50s if it were to verify, and overnight lows. Looky here. That's why I'm not buying the Canadian model right now, because overnight lows in the 30s and possibly some 20s across Arkansas here. That's almost laughable. So we're gonna back off of that just a little bit, but we are going to keep an eye on that here, guys. So, as I said before, I'm fixing to go ahead and end this blog for you guys. But here's the European model here, and the European model has it coming through Thursday night and early Friday morning. I'll go ahead and show you guys. This is a little better picture with here. So here we are as we get towards Friday morning here. It's dividing the state in half. Excuse me, not dividing the state in half. It's in western Arkansas here. Pushes through on Friday. Here we are on Saturday morning. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s, and I believe I'm going to go to the Euro real quick here. And this is what the Euro has for Saturday morning here. So just bear with me for just a second here. So there's the Euro for Saturday morning here. And overnight lows, 30s, 40s, possibly some low 50s. This is what I'm talking about. The Euro I'm kind of stalling on for a little bit because it has 30s, 36, 37 in the higher elevations of northwest Arkansas here, guys. So I do appreciate you guys sticking with me for the last 20 minutes. I've probably taught your head off about this, but there's a lot of information that has been talked about in this blog about the potential of the two fronts, also the potential of severe weather, and also about the potential of a whatever you guys have been hearing about the frost and freeze here, guys. So I will have another blog as we get towards Sunday and Monday. I do want to tell you guys that if severe weather were to be possible, we will be on standby for Sunday and even to late next week, because it is possible that we could see some stronger thunderstorms. I'm just not ready to bite into the overall severe weather potential as of yet until I see further guidance suggesting otherwise, you guys. So thank you guys for tuning into this blog here tonight, and y'all have a great rest of your Friday night.